Hey everyone, Xenos here. So, a few months ago, back when I was still recording a bit more regularly, I released a video detailing my favorite bosses from video games. Some people have since asked me about the worst of the worst bosses. And we're not exactly going to be in a good mood by the time I finish either writing this script or making this video. Why did I put that in there? Oh well, whatever. So, by popular demand, here are my picks for the absolute worst bosses I have ever come across. Same rules apply. One entry per franchise, spin-offs count as their own, and Bloodborne and Demon Souls count separately from Dark Souls. And keep in mind, spoilers ahead, watch at your own risk. All good? Alright. So, for number 10. As I said in that recent vlog I did, I love Bloodborne. I wouldn't include this game here if there weren't a few niggling issues with bosses. Most people may assume the Bloody Crow of Cainhurst, but you'd be wrong. I did manage to kill him after getting the Cosmic Eye. Watch it bad. Tip, he's easily poisoned. But no, since he doesn't have a bar on the bottom of the screen and no fog gate, the crow's not here. We'll give this bastard a dishonorable mention for this slot. Nope! At number 10, we have my three least favorite bosses from Bloodborne. Rom the Vacuous Spider, Watchdog of the Old Lords, and Merciless Watchers with the Merciless Chieftain. Ironic, isn't it? That they're all found in the Chalice dungeons. Watchdog is a nuisance. I hate the arenas you fight the Merciless Watchers in, and especially in the Lower Tumeru version. And Rom? Rom is a spider! Do I need any further reason to hate her? Okay. At number 9. Okay, this is another gripe in a phenomenal game. You know how you die at one boss because you don't know what the hell you're doing, but then realize what you were supposed to do and succeed? But then another boss similar to it comes along and smacks you around like a little bitch and you're trying to figure out what to do? That's my main gripe with Thunderblight Ganon from Breath of the Wild. Unlike the other Blight bosses, he gets up in your face with extreme speed and attacks before darting away like a coward. The second phase isn't much better, and as this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Yes, the pun was intended, because Vanaboris is a giant mechanical camel. So anyways, this asshole drops metal spikes from the air and then electrocutes them. Unless you've got strong lightning resist, good luck with that. I was at a loss until I learned you can use the Magnesis runes on those spikes. Other than this Blight, I enjoy this game immensely, and I'm looking forward to the second batch of the DLC. Now, number 8. You guys remember how I said I played as the third just on my main character in Wizard 101? That may be why I despise this next boss. Or maybe it's because I've done Sunken City so many times. And you know why? Not because I like it, not because I have friends who need to get through it. Nope! It's because I've tried to get that goddamn Wraith statue for my statue garden! And this boss isn't even the great 8 in and of itself. It's a grind to get through, and the final boss is just ugly. The other monsters up to that point had their charms. Stereotypical ghosts, banshees, Undertaker-dressed ghouls, animated scarecrows. But Grub! He's just ugly and not even that fun to fight. And the thing is, Sunken City, I believe, is actually an optional dungeon. The first real dungeon that you have to take on is in the, it's in Krokotopia, the entire next world. Like an actual long-time dungeon. Anyways, because he's an optional boss, he's ugly, and he's not fun to fight, this ugly son of a bitch takes number 8 on my worst bosses. Number 7, I'm not even going to beat around the bush, Demon-Possessed Takumi from Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. Remember how his older brother was one of my best bosses? It's a shame that Takumi's on this list. I'm talking about the Takumi you fight at the end of the Conquest route in the endgame chapter. It's not fun, it's not an epic conclusion, and it feels like padding. Unlike Garon's fight, which felt like the fitting conclusion, you have one extra boss no one asked for. It's like getting a chocolate cake from Wegmans, and someone comes along and says, "Hey, you know what this cake would be better with? A layer of coconut frosting!" That's how I feel about this fight. No offense to anyone who actually likes coconut, I just don't like the feel of coconut, is all. Okay, so number 6, Vanguard from Demon Souls. A tutorial boss who whips your ass the second you walk in is always a bitch. Vanguard doesn't even give you that much to talk about. He's a prototype for a couple of demon bosses in Dark Souls, the Demon Fire Sage, the Stray Demon, and the Asylum Demon. But he's not even that much fun to fight in the Shrine of Storms. You're playing as a... Oh, crap, I forget what the class was, but if you're playing as a mage, just fire a few soul darts, he goes down quickly, or whatever the base spell is. Also, if I put Armor Spider here, it would be just another cheap shot of my Arachnophobia, and I already have one spider on this list. Alright, so for number 5, the Sultan from Frogger's Adventures Temple of the Frog. This guy is the boss of the Sky City levels, and he's not a fun fight. At all. It's a gem-gathering minigame, and he cheats. It's not even a fun minigame. This guy is the Dragon God, or Ceaseless Discharge of this Game Boy Advance game. And it's not even a good gimmick fight. It's boring. Speaking of boring, number 4, Marlin from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Notice I didn't mention any lackey battles in the rules, because this guy, well, one of the few direct sequels of a Pokemon game, Black 2 and White 2 take a few liberties with the gym leaders. First, the Monkey Brothers, whose names I always forget are retired. Lenore spends more time at the museum, and Bryson has become a movie star. In their places are Sharon, one of your rivals from the previous games, who gets points for continuity. Roxy, who has the fun gimmick of having to beat her backups on stage before being able to talk to her. And then there's Marlin. Not only is he a water-type gym leader, which we've seen countless times before. I mean, let's see. We've got Misty, we've got Crasher Wake, we've got Wallace, we've got... crap, was there one... Okay. Okay, so, on that note, let's see, and then there was also a Water-type Elite Four for Generation 6, I forget what, I want to say it's Sieg something, I don't remember off the top of my head what it is. And then you've also got crap. What was that little deadpan girl from Alola? She was on Akala Island. She was the water trial. I said a bunch of wishy-washy after. Andrew, I'm sure you can put this, but anyways, not only is Marlin a water-type gym leader, but he comes off as a dullard, and not just a dullard, a lazy dullard. He's not even that fun or difficult of a battle, especially for the 8th gym leader. Bryson, please come out of retirement and put Drayden back as the 8th. Now, for number 3, I said I like this game, this is my popular opinion, but the Ascendants from Mass Effect Andromeda are on this list right now. I seriously hate these guys. First, they teleport everywhere. Second, they've always got that shield up until you break their orb. Third, their orb attack can level your shield in one hit, forcing you to scramble for cover. This is especially annoying against the Cardinal on Volt, as the Ket just don't stop coming till you kill her. Fourth, they have a one-hit kill attack. I hate that. I hate it on Banshees, I hate it on Phantoms, and I sure as hell hate it on these Even the Moon's Presence and the Warp Lega are kind enough to leave you with 1 hit point. And even though the Fiends have a one-hit kill attack as well, I could leap over them and avoid it. I only got caught in that attack twice in my first playthrough, but Ascendants? I think it's closer to 10 instant kill deaths. For number 2. Okay, remember how I said with Luga no one would know him? This next guy has the same sort of deal, but 4 other people know him. Number 2 is Khopesh Guy. This guy was the last boss I fought in the D&D campaign I was part of for a good part of senior year. But this guy, I hated this fight. Not only was I fed up with my DM to the point of quitting, from him taking my wisdom scaling sword and replacing me with a staff that gave just +1 to spell casting, changing the Jewel Titan armor I was planning to make, to heavy armor requiring 16 strength from medium armor, and then only offering 10 gold when I told our fighter to hawk it from me while I was at Prom 2.0, I'm fed up with being the useless druid who's no longer able to do anything. I mean, everyone can heal. Our monk has a healing power. Our fighter has second wind. We have a paladin who can use healing spells. And we've got a warlock who's got vampiric touch. I'm basically useless. And then this bastard comes along. I don't even remember the name. We just called him Khopesh Guy because he used a Khopesh the entire time. Strike 1. We don't remember his name. In addition, he had an armor class of 18 or something because no one in our group of 6-level characters could frequently hit him. Not even Brina the Giant Slayer. Strike 2. Next, the guy had an entourage of zombies and poison mummies. As in, the mummies set themselves on fire and created poisonous smoke. Strike 3. He also got a surprise round on us. Strike 4. And had the ability to use what seemed to be vampiric touch. Strike 5. This guy takes cues from the worst. Afterwards, I told the Warlock player that I was reminded of the Capra Demon, the Bed of Chaos, and the first encounter with Seek the Scaleless. Worst attributes for a boss to be associated with. Only reason we survived was because I blew everyone up. Because I was going last and no one would be able to clear out of the way without the monsters catching on. This resulted ulted me and getting booted. And because our fighter cheated that entire battle. Both Isaiah, and I saw you, Adam. Don't you deny it! Of course, I was also booted for giving him shit, but he who lives in glass houses, Adam. So you know what? Opech guy, Adam, character Genshi, that game world, and your campaign, Peter! Before we get to number 1, here are some dishonorable mentions. First, the Royal Rat Vanguard and Royal Rat Authority from Dark Souls 2. Other than the fact that one is a Sith clone and the other is a pathetic alpha test of the fun Celestial Emissary battle in Bloodborne, not much to say about the bad bosses of the black sheep of the family. Next, we have Midgard Sormer from Final Fantasy XV. I mean, they place a level 50-something in front of a dungeon for approximately level 18. Why? After that, we have Wendy Koopa. She looks ugly, she's annoying, and her fight in New Super Mario Wii U wasn't... No, wait, sorry, just... New Super Mario Wii wasn't interesting at all. Following that act is a Shizu Ishtar from Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards. It's not a bad duel, but frustrating, especially if she drops Obelisk the Tormentor. And then immediately afterwards, you have to fight Kaiba! Finally, bringing up the rear is the Kikimor Queen from The Witcher. This is a gimmick fight, and you don't realize it unless you actually pay attention to the in-game lore. So, does anyone remember who I excluded from number 3 on the best bosses? That's right, but he's got company. The number 1 worst boss I have ever dealt with is Allergy Nomad, in addition to the Sasuke's Endgame version. Okay, let's start from the beginning. First, you fight Nomad in 4 phases, each with 100,000 hit points. On the plus side, you actually get a checkpoint each time you finish him down. Sounds easy, right? Well, you're wrong. Nomad hits like a freight train, and his lackey Gillinor is a pain as well, dealing rapid thousands if you're standing in the wrong place. Second phase, he gets his Soul Blast, dealing 7,500 damage unless you stand in the right spot or use Resonance. This is a 9,000 you up during Dishonor Among Thieves, and let him take a shot of the Stone of Jas. Phase 3 is even more irritating as Nomad clones himself at 50,000. If you don't get him instead of the clone, he's still at 50,000 and you're most likely out of food and prayer potions. At Phase 4, he takes up the rapid melee attack from Nomad's Requiem instead of his magic attacks. Then once he's dead, Sasuke comes along and takes him or his corpse. And you fight the again, and Sasuke's endgame is a way to score bonus points for your chosen god! Then, after dealing with his labyrinth, you don't get David Bowie and his goblins, nope! You get Sasuke's 3 minions, Nomad, Linza the Disgraceful, and Great Gorbek at the same goddamn time! In other words, unless you're good at prayer flashing, which I am not, you'd be lucky to get the Sasuke himself. Nomad, Linza, Great Gorbek! Actually, don't any of them. They're all technically corpses, and necrophilia is illegal in most of the United States. But you get the idea. I hate these quests because they're horrible boss design. Not even my old DM could do something that badly, and you saw how pissed I got at Peter for that. To quote a very dear doctor, Dr. John Q. Zoidberg, your bosses are bad and you should feel bad. Well, those are my picks for the worst bosses ever. Who are your most rage-inducing Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go play something nice and relaxing to give the capillaries I ruptured time to heal. So, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button down below. It very much helps, and I'll probably pay my medical bills at some point. And as always, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, live long and prosper. Not even damaging. Hello, you. Not you, the other one. Yes, you. Are you looking for a good read? Then please consider picking up Duster, the debut novel by everyone's favorite madman. Excluding the Joker.